And in true Monty Python style, I, Professor Isaac Azimuth, and I can't say the rest of it, go on.
Azimuthal equidistant.
Azimuthal equidistant. I'm in the studio for something completely different. Yes, I have Liam Eerie, as his code name will be, just in case NASA are listening, in the studio to do our first and possibly final Flat Earth show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Lex.
So,
Appreciate it.
you just gave my true name away. It's code names today.
Dave. Thanks, Dave.
Dave Isaac Azimuth.
Yes, Isaac. Yes, I'll call you Isaac. Thanks for having me, Isaac.
Thank you for being on the show, matey. So we're going to start with your story because your life has changed through a giant paradigm shift, more great than the poles of the very planet shifting their magnetic status.
Indeed.
So there you were, realising that the truth that is projected through the media is not necessarily truth with a capital T.
Yes, I think people are starting to wake up to realise that the media and TV is pretty much a controlling element with people's lives. It tells you what to eat, what to wear, how to dress, where to go, what to do. It's a very controlling tool, and I think it's designed that way. For me, understanding what reality is very, very important to me. I think it should be important to everybody. And I think the more that people become perhaps what they call spiritually aware or awake, they're starting to see through things and how things have been manipulated and reality's been created for them. And to where we are now and to what's happened to me about 15, 16 months ago, I found something that has been literally suppressed from humankind for about 500 years.
Yeah.
And that is, bizarrely enough, and I know the minute I say it, and if your first reaction isn't to go, oh my God, shut up, man, you're crazy, then there is something wrong with you, because it literally should be the first reaction. And that
should be hallelujah. This is biblical truth.
Well, possibly. The shape of the Earth is not what we've been taught. It's as simple as that. We are not on a ball. We're not spinning. We're not zooming through space. End of story. These sort of things are provable. And I know it sounds mad. And if anyway, the people listening are going to be going, what is this crazy man talking about?
So let's stay with that crazy man for a minute, because you woke up to this.
Yeah.
Through your research on YouTube. You weren't looking for this sort of stuff.
No, not at all. No,
and then what caught your attention?
Well, nobody looks for this. I mean, it's ingrained in you to think that the flat Earth is some medieval nonsense which you fall off the edge. It's, that's ingrained into us. I was just sitting. I'm a conspiracy or seeker of truth. I like to do these things. I like to look at things differently. So yeah, whilst researching various topics, certainly not researching the flat Earth, I came across various videos which kept coming up on my feed, telling me to look at flat Earth and some other things, and the shape of the Earth is this and that, by a chap called Mark Sargent, who's a pal of mine in the States now. He did a series of videos called The Flat Earth Clues, so I would suggest anyone who is even remotely interested in this to go and have a look, because it's all done in bite-sized, easy to understand.
Mark Sargent.
Mark K. Sargent, Sargent. There are plenty of other research tools and forums that you can use. And 15 months ago, if you typed in YouTube and typed in the words, I don't know, flat Earth, for example, you had a hit back ratio of 60,000. Now you've got 7 million, and that's in 15 months. So the growth
really is a wake
is
up, isn't it?
Enormous. Yeah, it's something. It's something. It's a revelation of truth, I think, that's been given or allowed to be resurgent again. Yes, I agree.
So
I believe.
So Liam.
Yes.
Who's controlling the media then?
Oh, you've got to go into various issues with that. I mean, I think if you break it down, there's probably only one or two families that control most of the media outlets, all the news channels, all the TV, all the radio, etc. Not this radio, of course.
Of course not.
And you've got to be looking at the Rothschilds somewhere along the line. They seem to create and control pretty much everything, central banking in pretty much every single country apart from North Korea, I guess. Sure that'll come. Yes, it's a very strange and controlled reality that we are in.
We had the Brexit conspiracy on the news this morning, where Lloyds Bank have been hiding behind the Brexit result as the excuse for shutting down branches.
Yeah, I
and things.
did see that. I saw that, and I thought, well, what was the excuse for NatWest and Barclays then before the Brexit?
So what they call them now, Brexcuses.
Is that, there you go. So again, that's a manufactured nonsense. Every other bank before Brexit were losing staff because it wasn't becoming financially viable for them. They were closing branches all down. And now the media has twisted this so that it looks like Lloyds Bank were waiting and going to blame Brexit for the... It's a nonsense. It's an absolute utter nonsense.
So much of truth that's projected to us. We'll have some music listeners in a minute, because I know it's the breakfast show and you need some music to do your Weetabix too. But even down to really interesting things with aircraft tracking devices. They regularly go on the blink, don't they?
Yes, it's very bizarre. If you go onto any flight tracker and track a flight from somewhere in the southern hemisphere, excuse me, after about 200 miles off course, you see the little plane logo and you see the longitude and latitude of all the planes zooming around. Well, if you go into the southern hemisphere, what they call the southern hemisphere, and track a flight, after about 200 miles off land, it becomes approximated or estimated where it is. So it's like, well, okay, that's fine. So you look at it first and you think, oh, that's because it's obviously a long flight and, they don't want to keep doing it. And then I thought, well, hold on a minute. Excuse me. When the Malaysia Airlines plane disappeared completely, they could not find it.
No.
So that sort of piqued my interest a little bit into why these things were happening. Turns out for me, with the research I've done, that, and this is a big one for people to swallow on a Friday morning, that satellites are not real. They don't exist. And I know you're all going to say, yes, but we see the rockets and blah, blah, blah. Yes, you do see the rockets. Well done. Not a problem. You never see anything enter space, enter the atmosphere. And every time you see a rocket go up, they've never pointed the camera upwards. They always point it down at the flame. There's a reason for that. Ask yourself why. Why won't you ever see a rocket breaking through the atmosphere? Well, I've got to tell you, because they don't go there. Simple as that. For me.
Well, that is a very provocative point to take us up to a little jingle. And then a bit of El Shaddai, Amy Grant, one of my favourite artists and one of my favourite songs. El Shaddai is the all-sufficient one and also the symbol for Shin, the Hebrew letter Shin, which is used in Star Trek.
Indeed.
May you live long and prosper.
Indeed.
If only there was space. More on that later.
Or the Freemasonic M.